This episode was previously recorded in front of an imaginary studio audience.
Time for Fun Knife Friday!
All you knife-casters out there, your old pal Skip the Show back at you again, and have I got some fun for Fun Knife Friday. Matter of fact, I got a lot of fun for Fun Knife Friday, but first I gotta say thank you to Tobias for filling in last week. I had a family emergency I had to take care of, and he did a great job there with the Aloha Friday, and I really do appreciate it. And I know that put him back a bit, so I have decided that what I'm going to do is I'm going to take care of one of his videos for him this week. He was going to work on some kind of thing about budget knives or something, and I'm going to do that for him. But before we do that, let's talk about my Fun Knife Friday, because I got a really fun knife for Fun Knife Friday. And I tell you what, I was out there in Vegas, and how many of you guys out there, show of hands, how many of you heard of that gold and silver pawn shop that's like on the History Channel? I think they call it Pawn Star or something, and they always talk about that great pawn shop out in Las Vegas. Well, I wasn't there, but I did go to the pot metal and plastic up there in Oswego, and you should see the knife I got from Sid up there. Well, you're going to see it because it's my Fun Knife Friday knife. And here it is. Came with this wonderful nylon sheath, genuine nylon. It's a genuine nylon sheath. And this is a Jim Frost original. Jim Frost original. It's the Undertaker 3. Because he had to try 3 times to get it right. But talk about one mean nasty knife for a Fun Knife Friday. You know this crap up here, all these things up here? Those are all sharp. It's like you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 line cutters there, and then you got the, I almost cut myself. You got that serrated portion up there. And look at that. Wonderful blade. Big old knife, 16 inches. Look at that crossover. Look at that. Look at how they slanted that cross guard there. You got the big old pommel down there. They got the eagle pommel. Yeah, big old knife for big old man. 16 inches of Fun Knife Friday. We're going at you right here with the Jim Frost original Undertaker 3. And it's got to be a classic now because Jim Frost died. So, all of his original designs are going to be something that people are really going to want. Yeah, buddy. And you know how much I paid for this up there at the pot metal and plastic? $5.50. Talk about a steal, huh? Well, I think it's a steal. Well, it don't bend, and I bet you anything it's going to be great slicing up watermelon. Yeah, buddy. The Jim Frost Undertaker 3 for Fun Knife Friday. But now, let's move on over to Tobias's workbench, and I'm going to look at whatever these budget knives that he was talking about. Something about 5 budget folding, locking knives or something like that you don't want to get rid of. He's already laid them out, so I'll go look at them and try and tell you what they're all about, okay? So stick around for that, but don't forget, Fun Knife Friday 3, my Undertaker 3. Look at that thing, $5.50. I tell you what, this is what I want you. You all got an assignment now, all you YouTubers out there. Go out there this weekend. Go to the nearest pawn shop near your house and buy a knife and show it on Fun Knife Friday. How's that sound like fun? Go to the pawn shop, buy yourself a knife, bring it in next Friday for Fun Knife Friday. How does that sound? That's an open tag for you. Now let's go look at this other open tag that Tobias wants me to do. All right, let's go over there. Yeah, let's go over there. So you can turn off this camera because I'm not going to walk over there with the camera. Yeah, thank you. Turning off the camera now. Good. Let's go. Come on.
What we got here now, Skip, please, why is it so dark over here? Why is it always so, oh, wait a minute. take my sunglasses off. Skip, please read before doing the 5 locking budget knives. Tobias. Okay, let's see what he has for me to read here. Alright, Skip. This video is in response to an open tag from Paddy's potato peelers. We have been asked to do a video on 5 locking budget-friendly knives that we wish to keep. As you know, Skip, budget-friendly means different things to different people. Let me explain this in a way that you can understand. For some people, budget-friendly would be the 7-year-old Scotch versus the 12-year-old Scotch, the 21-year-old Scotch, or the single malt Scotch. So the budget-friendly is the low end of the Scotches. To me, some people cannot even afford the budget-friendly 7-year-old Scotch. So the knives before you are not really from the hard liquor line, but more like from beer and wine, and not even the expensive beer or wine. These are not craft beers, and these are not your select bottles of wine. We're talking about the $3 Chucks, or the Ripple, or the Mad Dog 2020. You're familiar with those. We're also talking about like your beer knives, such as Milwaukee's Best or Little Kings. We're not talking about craft beer here. We're talking about the low-end budget knives. By the way, Skip, you really weren't supposed to read this out loud, so stop reading it now and just use the rest of this information to help you describe the knives. Read it before you begin, okay? And take your glasses off the counter. I'm sure you threw them up there. All right, so Tobias has these knives out for me. He's got 5 knives here for me. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 5 budget-friendly knives, but he throws 7 of them out here for me. I don't get it, but that's the way he is, I guess. I guess some of these I figure oh yeah, I should have read the note. Let me read this note first, and I'll be right back. All right, so here we go. First knife up is this here Bally Song or butterfly knife. And he said he's going to throw this one out there because, hey, it is a locking knife, but it isn't the locking kind of knife that you think it's going to be. So he thought he'd throw that out there. And this is one of those knives that you can pick up at a flea market or at a pawn shop. Yeah, you could probably get this at a pawn shop. And they go for about $5-10. So, you know, talk about budget friendly. Yeah, $5 Bally Song. I guess that would be budget friendly. And yeah, it's a cheap knife. It's just, and you can see it's not expensive at all. Got all sorts of extra movement in there and everything, but it's a pokey stabby thing. And once you got it closed up in your hand, blade is tight. So what can you complain about other than it being $5? But genuine stainless steel. So there you go. And it's pretty blue color. So what else can you ask for $5? And it's a great knife to learn how to play with butterflies. Tobias said that's an honorable mention. And this one here is also an honorable mention. It's his Moonshiner knife. Now, he says that you ain't going to get it for a budget-friendly price now, but at one time, this is a budget-friendly knife, too. They were about $5-10 or $10-15, and you can't beat that for a price. This is a Taylor Cutlery made in Japan. So at one time these were a budget knife. Now they're not. So I guess his thought is sometimes those budget knives go up in price, as in those really inexpensive knives that people just kind of snicker at. Once they became no longer around and people start looking for them and they go, wow, that is cool. And this is kind of cool. You got your little circle up there, that hole for your finger. And then, is it a cigar cutter? No, I don't think you could cut a cigar with it, but pretty cool knife. And that was a budget knife at one time, but it isn't anymore. Now it's kind of a collector's item. So Then we got 5 knives left after that. And I see he brought out 2 green ones for me here. And I know one of them he had to bring out just because it's like my favorite, and that's what I had here. I'm not sure this one's going to stay on the workbench. This is my zombie green skull knife. It's a stiletto, and it's got a beer bottle opener up here. But you know, the kind of budget beer he's talking about, I guess the Little Kings, they sometimes still come in little bottles, but yeah, I don't think I've ever seen, I guess PBR is in a bottle, and Milwaukee's Best, I doubt that's ever been in a bottle. Milwaukee's Best beer, yeah. Talk about budget beer. Woo-hoo. Get a case of it for $5. You can't beat that with a stick. You can't drink it either, but what the hell. Anyway, the zombie green bottle opener stiletto. And this was like a $10 knife at one time. Look at that. You got serrations and all sorts of cool stuff on there. The only way this is ever going to leave Tobias's collection is if I steal it from him. And I don't want to do that. I'm just hoping that someday he'll give it to me, because he knows how much I love this knife. This is such a cool knife. This has Skip the Show written all over it. This should be my knife, and Tobias knows that, but I ain't going to take it from him. I'll let him hang on to it, even though he knows it's my knife. He can hang on to it, but it's my knife. This is such a cool knife. I love that knife. All right, this one here, that's the old Bullfrog. Ain't that old, though. This is a Rough Rider Bullfrog. You want to talk about inexpensive, budget-friendly flipping knives and locking knives and stuff. Everyone knows about the traditional pattern Rough Rider knives, but man, does Rough Rider turn out some really good flippers. And this is one of them, the Bullfrog. Everyone talks about the tadpole all the time, but this is mine. This is the one I like, the Bullfrog. Big old hunk of knife, too. It's a really cool one. I like the Bullfrog. It's cool. So there you go. That's a fun, flipping Friday knife, you know. The Bullfrog. I love the 2 colors on the blade. And look at that green and black. I don't know if that's G10 micarta or whatever it is. You got the lock over here. You can close it up. And it is assisted opening. And I like assisted opening. I know a lot of people don't like assisted opening. They want that drop shutty stuff. I like this good old Bullfrog. Ribbit. Yeah, there you go. Bullfrog. That's a fun flipping Friday, budget friendly, whatever you want to call it. That is a knife that you need to have. The Bullfrog by Rough Rider. That's a cool one. Let's see what else we got here. We got, well, that's 1, 2. That's the 2 that he's really talking about. And then 3, 4, 5. Let's get the other 3 out of the way, and we can get this show on the road and record it. Over here is a knife I've actually been using. I took this from Tobias. He had it hanging up over in his workbench area. I said, hey, Tobias, I could use that. I've been working on my office, you know. I've been turning it into that room for bachelor parties and stuff like that. It's going to be a private room for bachelor parties and any other kind of private party that somebody wants to have at the Volcano Club. And I saw this and was like, this is just perfect for what I need to do. And he just said, yeah, go ahead and grab it. So I figured right away it had to be a budget knife. In any case, there by Right Edge. And this thing, from what I understand, it goes for like $8 or something like that. But nice wood handles. It feels good in the hand. Great lockup on the blade. And I've been using it to cut up drywall and carpeting and stuff like that there. And I understand that you could also use this for a garden knife. I guess you could use a hawkbill for all sorts of things, but mostly I've just been using it for cutting wire, cutting drywall, you know, scribing drywall, and cutting up carpeting, and it's been working great. So I really like this knife, and I'm going to have to give it back to Tobias, but then you know what? It's only $8, so I'll probably go ahead and buy one. That way I don't have to I'll buy him a new one. I'll keep this one. That's what I'll do. That'll make him happy to get him a new one. I saw this one a while back, man. Talk about budgets. This is like a $7 knife, and it's by Jim Frost himself. So this is also another classic here. But he calls it the Silver Hawk, and a nice little pocket-friendly knife, and pretty well made too. I don't know if they're all this well made, but man, this one's nice. I love the shape of that blade, and it's got a nice little lock back here, nice and tight. I don't think can't use that to roll it around. It really got to just grab it and open it. And regular lock, it's just a lock back. But hey, does look modernish, doesn't it? It's all stainless steel. That's pretty cool. So that's a pretty cool knife. And Paddy just said it needs to be a budget-friendly locking knife. I don't think he said it needed to be modern. So there you go. What's it? Oh, this is the last one, I guess, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. This was sort of an honorable mention, and the butterfly was an honorable mention. So this must be the 5th knife he wants me to talk about. And I know he had to decide to do this one because, well, this is like Tobias's favorite Flippin knife from Rough Rider. It's Feeling Groovy with tie-dye. And here we go. That's the knife. And look at that one. Big old chunky knife, and it flips. Boy, does it flip. And look at that blade. He's cut a few things with it, but not much. But look at that. That is, oh man, that is strong. Woo! And it's a flipper. They call him Flipper. Yeah, I should put on my glasses again. This blade is so bright. Wow. Is that not cool? Not as cool as the skull knife, but I guess to each his own. I wonder if I bought him a tie-dye knife, if he'd give me the skull knife, because the skull knives are hard to find now. But yeah, talk about well, there you go. There you go. About the same as a Bullfrog in size, I guess, but it's a lot more colorful. Anyway, there you go. 5 flippin' fantastic Fun Knife Friday flipper knives for this whatchamacallit thingy they do. What is it? An open tag that started with Paddy's potato peelers. So there you go. There's 5 flippin' Fun Knife Friday locking knives for you. Hope you enjoyed that, and hey, and if you didn't, maybe you enjoyed that big ass Undertaker 3. Man, that knife was really awesome. And it was big. Yeah, big. Look at that thing. Yeah. And you know what? That blade is also locked. Well, unless it breaks, then it ain't so locked. Anyway, let's go. Have fun. And don't forget, run out to a pawn shop. Go find yourself a knife. And show it next week on Fun Knife Friday.
There you have it, Knife Chatters. Another Fun Knife Friday in the books. Remember, if your knife's not fun, you're doing it wrong. Skip out.
If your knife's not fun, you're doing it wrong, and Skip Out are registered trademarks of Skip DeSheau's Enterprises. This has been a Cat Production presentation. All rights reserved.